Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer on behalf of Forge College. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we are officially entering the final staging phase of your Soulbound Identity Capstone project. Think of everything you've done up to this point as meticulously building a highly advanced spacecraft safe and sound inside the hangar. Well, today is all about executing a complex, high-stakes rocket launch sequence. You've engineered the systems, you've written the code, and now it is finally time to put those smart contracts on the pad and prep for liftoff.
Okay, let's dive into this and outline our flight plan for getting these contracts off the ground. We've got 6 key stages: welcome to the launch pad, the pre-flight checklist, executing the deployment, smoke tests and telemetry, the abort button, and finally, your final mission deliverable. Let's get started. Section 1. Welcome to the launch pad. So, we are officially transitioning away from your local application refinements and stepping directly into a public test environment. This is that magical, kind of nerve-wracking moment where you roll your carefully engineered rocket from the absolute safety of the hangar out onto the launch pad. And there's a massive difference here that we really need to acknowledge. Local testing is cozy, right? It's safe and, frankly, it is perfectly predictable. Your local node does exactly what you tell it to do. But a public testnet, it's wild, it's unpredictable, and it acts as a true, real-world staging environment. The latency is very real, and your gas estimation actually matters now. And please, let me save you from a catastrophic headache right off the bat. Resist the temptation to test directly in production, and whatever you do, do not accidentally reuse your production keys in this test environment. It happens way more often than you'd think, and it is a total security nightmare.
Section 2. The pre-flight checklist. As any good engineer knows, you don't just walk up to a massive rocket and mash the giant red launch button without making sure the tanks actually have fuel. Before we even think about hitting deploy, we must meticulously gather our critical inputs from our previous lessons. Step 1, you've got to gather your compiled contract artifacts, specifically your ABI and your bytecode, straight from your CI build. Step 2, grab your migration plan. This meticulously dictates your constructor parameters and your initial role assignments. And Step 3, secure your architecture checklist for all those necessary environment variables. You're going to take all these essential blueprints and place them into a known deploy folder so that your deployment script runs chronologically and without a single hitch.
Section 3. Executing the deployment. Okay, the preparation is done. This is the exact moment we've been building toward, where we run our scripted workflow and keep a really close eye on the mission telemetry. Now, what's really interesting about this deployment command is that we aren't just blindly running a hard hat script. We're actually piping the output directly to a time-stamped log file using the T command. It's exactly like recording the rocket's indestructible black box data. Every single line of standard output and standard error gets captured permanently.
Now, you might be wondering, why go through all the trouble of piping that data? Well, it's because of this crucial log data. We absolutely need to capture the exact signer identity, the final deployed addresses on the network, the constructor arguments passed during initialization, and the transaction hashes. If you don't log your deployer identity and those specific block numbers, you just won't have the hard evidence required to prove to the capstone reviewers that your launch was actually successful. They need to see the receipts.
Section 4. Smoke tests and telemetry. The rocket has officially left the pad, but we need to know right away if it's flying straight. The absolute second your contract touches down on the testnet, we immediately check if the systems are nominal using targeted telemetry. We call these smoke tests. In the context of this specific capstone, these are deterministic, lightning-fast tests that assert concrete event signatures and on-chain state transitions. Most importantly, we're verifying the Mint SBT flow and ensuring your off-chain verifiers actually consume those emitted blockchain events properly. It's basically an end-to-end pulse check.
So the crucial point is, when you run that test suite, a big fat 0 is exactly the target exit code we want to see popping up on our terminals. That means 0 errors, 0 failures, and that our on-chain logic is communicating flawlessly with our off-chain infrastructure. But remember, mission-controlled telemetry isn't just about the blockchain itself. It's heavily reliant on your off-chain systems. You need to be actively monitoring these specific observability metrics: your last process block, your event lag, and your error rate. If your smart contract emits an event, but your off-chain monitoring system has a massive lag or is just throwing errors everywhere, your identity system is effectively broken in the real world. We need low lag and 0 outstanding errors.
Section 5. The abort button.
And this brings us to a harsh, sometimes pretty terrifying reality of software engineering. Occasionally, things break, and launches go entirely sideways. It's a question every single engineer has to ask, but what happens if the launch goes sideways? Just imagine the sheer panic of a failed production deployment when you suddenly realize you have zero abort procedure. It's a sinking feeling you never ever want to experience. That is exactly why having a solid, tested rollback and upgrade plan is totally non-negotiable.
Actually, let me read this critical quote directly from the source material. Treat staging as a production-like zone where privacy boundaries and role assignments match production expectations. You see, a properly tested rollback in a staging environment that truly mirrors production is literally the only difference between a recoverable little incident and a total catastrophic mission failure.
You can't just have a plan on paper either. You must validate the rollback. You need to actively perform a non-destructive upgrade or a role revocation on your staging environment. Then execute your rollback steps in reverse, and finally restore the previous state using those migration artifacts. You have to simulate this under controlled conditions to prove to the reviewers you can actually do it, backing it up with terminal logs or even a quick video clip as indisputable evidence.
Section 6. Your final mission deliverable.
This is where we guide all of this meticulous engineering work toward our ultimate goal, assembling the final evidence package for your capstone reviewers. We call this deliverable the transaction demo. This is the required artifact containing your recorded testnet transactions, all those corroborating logs we've been talking about, and a signed deployment checklist. This package is the complete, irrefutable flight record that you'll hand over to the judges to definitively prove that your identity system works seamlessly from end to end. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how you'll be evaluated. Subjective impressions, they are entirely out. Hard, objective artifacts are in. To pass reproducible deployment, your script has to run without any manual intervention. To pass the smoke test suite, you need a report showing all tests passing within defined thresholds. And for observability, you've got to provide listener logs proving events were successfully consumed. It is entirely evidence-based.
So, to summarize the whole shebang, here is exactly what goes into your final submission folder. Your deploy logs, transaction receipts paired with block explorer links, your smoke test standard outputs, your off-chain listener logs, and of course, that signed deployment checklist. Oh, and here's a quick pro tip from the trenches. If your listener assertions happen to fail while you're putting this all together, checking for an ABI version mismatch between your contracts and your off-chain code is your absolute best troubleshooting bet for sure.
I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought. Your launch was successful, but is your evidence packaged perfectly for the final handoff? Double-check those deliverables, make sure your logs tell the full story of your success, and ensure absolutely every requirement is met. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer on behalf of Forge College. Be sure to head over to forge.college for more incredibly detailed deep dives into Web3 development and decentralized identity. Happy deploying, and I'll catch you in the next one.